All right, now that we're back, what we're going to do is we're going to sew a couple of things together. Typically, when we're laying out a character, we want to have as many shells together as possible. It just helps in in creating our layouts and stuff like that. We definitely don't want our characters laying all over the place and stuff like that. We want to make it easy on whoever's going to come in and texture it. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in here and we're going to sew a few things together. Now, I want to show you a couple of reasons why I told you not to sew or use the sew tool here. And I'm going to do this by, let's go into edge mode. I'm going to select that edge right there. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to hit sew and watch what happens between the UVs. You'll see that they merge right at the center, and this gets really, really bad, and then all of a sudden it flipped everything into the red. And so we want to make sure we don't use the sew tool when we're sewing. We want to make sure that everything stays together. So we use move and sew, and I'm going to click on this and you'll see the difference. It'll move the shell along together, and then it kind of comes to the center right there. So we know we want these edges right here, and then you want to move and sew them together. Okay, now I have a hotkey for this, which is Alt L, and I just go ahead and move them together. And you'll notice there's a slight bit of distortion in some of this area, and what you do is you just go into face mode, and once again we have our unfold button up here, or if you're me, you have Alt U, and all of a sudden it lays it out flat again. Okay, by the way, no matter how hard you work on laying out your character, you will never be able to get it as flat as the unfold 3D tool can make it. Um, Worked in a lot of tools, and I know this from personal experience that it just doesn't work no matter what you do. So we're going to grab this right up to here. We know that that's going to pertain to this side right here. And we're just going to go ahead and hit our move and sew tool. And you'll see that, oops, we may have gone a little too far. So let's deselect that one by shift selecting and then Alt L again. And once again, we're going to unfold, and look at that. That is a beautiful unfold. Now, if you get kind of things that are a little bit too close right here, you can select your UVs and just slightly move it over a little bit. And then once again, make sure that you're unfolding. Well, that one actually pushed it back. So I'm going to undo what I did and leave it just right there. All right. So we have a beautiful layout on our arm. Now, typically, if our character has been is actually symmetrical. You literally could cut the character in half once you're done unfolding one side and flip it over. But for demonstration purposes, we're not going to go that route. I'm going to come in here and once again, I'm going to select all these UVs right there. And you'll see that they pertain right to that. We're going to go ahead and merge them. Okay. Inside here, let's move this over and we can sew this together right here. Okay, now that we've got it sewn, it looks all freaked out, but when you go ahead and unfold once again, oops, it's like we got one too many. That was my bad. Good example of what could happen. So make sure that you're always kind of checking your geometry. Let's go back a little bit. What I need to do is just make sure that I grab these first so that I know exactly what's going to be selected on this end. And we got to check it against this one. We notice that there's an extra sticking off of this. It's probably going to be on that side right there. And if we hit Alt U, which is my button, I love that. Or sorry, Alt L. You know, there we go. We got them there. And then let's make sure we lay out. Ooh, we need to sew these guys right down to here. I sew it always about right to there. There we are, it flips it, and once again, we're back to normal. And we've got two arms that are laid out. And now if you start thinking about this from a standpoint of how quickly you can get your character laid out. So for example, we have the front of our body right here, and I would like to get rid of those edges running on the outside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the back of this. You'll see right here where I'm cutting it. Let me turn off this distortion. You can see it right here. I'm going to go ahead and cut that right there. And then I'm going to grab from the top right here all the way down to the side. All right, let's go ahead and sew those together. Let's do the same thing over here. All right, we'll sew that together and we're going to UV unfold one more time. There we are. So our bottom pants are done, and now we've got the top of our body. Okay, if we can, we should try to get rid of these sides. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut it right down the back, down here. We'll go ahead and cut that right there. And then we want to sew these edges right here. Now you'll notice that it's gonna have a problem right here at the top. So let's cut those right there at the very top of the shoulders. And we'll sew these sides right onto here. And once again, we unfold. Okay, our torso's done. Let's look at our ears, okay? Do we want the line running up the top or the bottom? Probably along the top. So we're going to go ahead and shift double select that one, merge. All right, we're going to come down here once again, shift double select, merge. By the way, you probably have gotten the process down by this moment, and you don't have to continue on watching this video if you don't want to. I'm going to go ahead and finish this off. Now, typically, I do want the eyes to be part of the skull and stuff like that. It just makes it so much easier to texture stuff. You may find differently. Some people like to do things differently, and that's okay. We can all be different and enjoy life still. So, all right, get this right to here. I'm going to come over here and unfold the mouth just a little bit more because I really, really would like to see this opened up. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that right there. Let's open it up a little bit more. Oops. Looks like it didn't want to cut for us. So let's go check and see what's happening here. We might need to, yep, let's go ahead and grab that right there and we'll cut that. We'll cut this one and then we'll unfold it. There we go. The mouth's starting to take on a better shape right now. Okay. Now, I have a tongue inside this mouth and you can see that it's right here. So I'm going to go ahead and select the line that goes around that. I'm going to go ahead and cut that out and move that tongue out of the way. I also have a little uvula in the back of the mouth, so I'm going to take that one out as well. Let's cut that. And then let's take and cut the back of it just so that we can, you know, get a nice unfold on that. So there we are. Let's unfold. Okay, let's unfold this now that we've done it again. There we go. And now on the tongue, I probably want the bottom part of the tongue to kind of slightly be opened up. So we're going to cut that right there, and once again, we're going to lay it out. Okay, so now that I have all this laid out, I got to find the best resolution and texel density I possibly can. So I'm going to grab all of these together, and I'm going to come under my modify, and I'm going to go into layout again. So I'm going to open this up. Okay, our packing resolution right now is 1024. We don't want to rotate the shells. We want definitely everything to stay the way it is. And you might not be able to tell whether or not your shells are directly up and down. There's a really cool tool in here called Orient. If you click on it, it will orient everything straight up and down. Now you have everything going exactly the way you want. Padding, we're going to keep it right there, and I'm going to hit apply, and it's going to lay it out the best it possibly can and not orient the shells. Okay, there we are. Now you can see that it's done the best it can, though there's some room. We can use a little bit of this room to kind of move things in place and start to, I always go into face mode when I do this, but you can start to organize your shells a little bit cleaner. And we always want to make sure that we do a little cleaning on our shell, our UV layouts. But notice how quickly we were able to get this done. Like what would normally take, several hours of laying out and stuff like that, you can literally get this thing done in a matter of minutes. And without all of the talking and stuff done through it, we can probably get this done in a matter of about 5 to 6 minutes. All right. Hopefully that gives you kind of an overview. We'll do a few more of these down the road just so that you guys get more and more familiar with the UV editor. It is extremely powerful.